Hi my people, Flewnt back here again with another episode of Breaking Down the Bars. This is episode 4. We have none other than Anesu with us today. So thank you so much for coming out. Nothing but respect. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be here that may not know who you are, or even those that are there for you to support you at Flewnt's Broadway Block Party, but they want to know more about you.
Okay.
So can we just get a bit of an idea of who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been doing music for?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm from Zimbabwe. I've been living in Bolo for like 10 years now. And I first got into music when I was like, since I was born, like, I feel like music's always been something that I've just been passionate about and wanted to do. But I only started taking it seriously when I was like 16. I remember being like boarding school, just playing beats on like Audacity. Do you remember that?
Yes, Audacity, yes.
Yeah, I was like spitting bars on there, like chucking it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And there was like, maybe like the last 2 years, I was like, all right, let me do this like for real, you know? Like, why not? Like, let me just try and give it a go. So it's basically literally been like maybe 10 plus years that I've actually been like riding seriously and stuff. And it's been the best time. I love making music.
Music's so important, you know what I mean? And I think like for those of us that have been doing it from when we were younger, it's kind of like molded who we are as people.
Facts.
Yeah, for sure.
I do.
As artists, I'm sure you feel this way as well. We've listened to a lot of music growing up, so we've heard a lot of things and a lot of different genres and artists, and I think like I always felt that I pick apart, you know, parts of this or that, and I attach them to myself and I use them to sort of grow me as an artist or shape or mold who I am.
Yeah.
So what are some of those influences musically for you that have sort of created and shaped your sound?
Yeah, I think for me, like my influences are quite diverse, you know, like, obviously like my hip hop influences are like people like Earl Sweatshirt, like the way that he rhymes, he can fit so many syllables into just like one verse. I'm like, bruh, that's crazy. And then you got like people like Lauryn Hill who like has really good vocals and really good raps and like verses. And then you've got like Sampa the Great, like from Zambia, like, you know, we kind of come from the same place. So like people like that who just like to speak their mind, speak their truth in a very artistic and intentional way are like the people that I take like the most inspiration from.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
those artists that you just named, even for myself, I feel like they take their art form and then they really sort of use it to convey whatever message that they want to get out in the world, you know? I think that's really important, and I'm guessing that if that's shaped and influenced your music, that's something we can expect from you as well.
Yeah, definitely you can expect that, for
awesome.
Sure.
So I think an important part of us getting to know you as an artist is what sort of things have you observed as an artist, as a human being, that have sort of shaped who you are as a person and in turn shaped your artistry?
I mean, I think for me there's been many like experiences and moments in my life that have sort of inspired the music that I do, but one of the most like, I think, bigger moments in my life was when back in 2019 I unfortunately lost my brother Panache, who's like an older brother of mine, and he kind of lost his life in a very like violent and a very tragic way, and the police didn't really like investigate it any further. They just sort of like ruled it off as like self-defense. And that experience for me was like the first time that I'd actually experienced racism like so upfront, like so indirect and like brutal, just like reckless, and that really just like inspired like a lot of like anger in me and a lot of like emotion and passion. That I thought, I was like, hey, like obviously there's like a narrative and a story that isn't being told here. Like, what can I do about the talents and the skills that I have to be a voice for those who otherwise are like encouraged to remain silent in those moments? And obviously coming from like a country like Zimbabwe, it's like got a lot of its own hectic politics involved. I really wanted to just like speak up for people that were like me, people who come from the same background, and also pay tribute to those who have paved the way before me in that. So
that's I thank you so much for using your art to speak up for those sort of instances. As you may be aware, that's such a common thing in my community as well. Death in custody and all these different things, and I think that's important, that's something we can connect on, even if it's something so tragic and unfair, because at least then we can heal together. And that's like really important. So I do thank you seriously that you use your music to be able to speak on those sort of issues. Thank you so much. Man, that's powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we got deep.
Yeah, you got deep now, but thank you. Like, yeah, man.
I just feel like it's important. Like people don't know. Like.
No, it is really important. It's really important. People don't use their platform enough to talk about it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Particularly, I know in my community, in black fellow community, like in that community, we get very ashamed to be able to like share those emotions. It's really hard. Mental health is a very serious thing, and like to even admit to being hurt by something is almost like it's like I don't know. You almost can't do it, you know, at times, you know. And
it's confronting. Like,
it's confronting as, and it's no, you're right. Thank you so much, bro. So this is the part we've all been waiting for: the breaking down of the bars, the verse. So, Anesu, what is the verse you're going to do and from which song?
The verse I'm going to do is my second verse off of Black Girl.
Let's go.
You dance to our music, flex on our clothes, dress to expose the indifference you hold, the ignorance you hold towards black lives and souls, how it takes a black man to die on the road for our truths to be told, for our lives to be felt. Forced us to build your wealth while you killed our men, stole our land and still inflicted pain. Please tell me why the only time we get acknowledgement is when we're fucking trending. As you applaud our talents, you ignore the hatred that we had to face just to fucking make it. Dreams too big to be painted in a picture. Dreams too big to be painted in a picture. Doing all of this so I can do it for my brother, cause he never had the chance to make it as a winner. The motherfuckers left him dead on the concrete. Fuck the police, we say fuck the police.
Powerful verse. There's a few things that I can see in there, but I want you to explain your perspective first, and then I want to just talk a bit about what I took from that as well. So when you rap that verse, what are you feeling? What are you trying to, what message do you want to get out with that?
I'm feeling obviously that anger, you know, like to like experiences I've had to live through, and I guess my purpose would be to kind of confront the audience and to allow them into like my world and like the things that we feel and go through on a daily basis.
I think some like special points that you made there that I always talked about is how people from a Western culture will cherry pick what they want from black people. So they will just take at times what makes them feel comfortable or what they're comfortable with having while neglecting the rest. And I felt that when you said like we're only important when we're trending, or there was bars in there like that, like, and of course they only trend because they want to steal certain parts of our culture that that excites them, that makes them feel some sort of happiness without ever having to share the pain. That is a really important part that I got from that verse anyway. And then of course the injustice of the injustice of the justice system. You know what I mean? Like how ironic is that? That so many bad things happen to people that may look like a certain way or might not fit in their little category or whatever they want.
They're like supposed to protect you.
Supposed to protect you, and instead they either neglect or hurt you. And that's always been a relationship for my people with the justice system, all the way from the courts down to the place on the ground.
Yeah, like it runs deep.
It runs deep. It's I feel like racism is ingrained in our culture, in this new Australian culture that we all have to live and be around. It's it's a convict, deranged culture, like Barker says. You know what I mean?
Barker said it how good.
Barker said it the best way. Thank you so much for sharing that verse with me again. That's so dope. On a lighter note, what can we expect to see from you at Flewnt's Borroloo Block Party? What are you going to bring?
I feel like I'm going to bring the bars, I'm going to bring the heat, I'm going to be bringing the energy. I'm obviously going to be bringing in a band for the first time. I haven't really fucked around with bands that much, so I'm quite excited to see how the audience reacts to that kind of thing. You know, you can expect some swagger, like just good vibes, I reckon.
Let's go, that's what we want. So all you people out there, make sure you come down and catch Anesu at Flewnt's Borroloo Block Party. Get your tickets in the link below, and we're on. Let's go.
Let's do it.